What's up everyone, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 lessons that 2021 has taught me. With that being said, let's go right ahead and get started. Alright guys, so before I get into the video, I do have a full blog post where I go into more depth and detail on all of the 5 lessons I'm going to mention in this video. And I also have 5 additional lessons, so in total I have 10 lessons for you guys that 2021 has taught me. And if you're interested in reading that blog post, then definitely make sure you click the link in the description box after watching the video. Now, the first lesson that 2021 has taught me is to be patient. Patience is a virtue. And honestly, over the years, I have just became such an impatient person. And quite frankly, I don't even know how I got to that point. And 2021 definitely set me down and taught me to just be patient. God's timing is always perfect. And whenever you feel like you're in a rush for something to happen, it's almost like you're repelling yourself from such thing happening. And I had to learn that over and over and over through trial and error, disappointment. 2021 was just, it just hit me like a brick. It was almost like, okay girl, like you don't have no choice but to sit down and be patient and wait for whatever it is that I was waiting on at the time. And that's pretty much what I had to do. So the second lesson that 2021 has taught me is to be humble. And it is so true of the saying, life will humble you, because honestly the last 2 years have definitely been a humbling experience. I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you God for allowing my family and I to get through this whole 2 years without getting sick or without suffering from any sort of health issue. And I also just want to thank my husband for being our rock and going out and working in such conditions, because I just couldn't imagine myself going out and working and not being scared, not getting anxiety, and just breaking down crying like a baby. So I just want to thank those 2 men in my life, because honestly 2021 has definitely taught me to be more appreciative of everything that I have, especially my health. But 2021 has definitely taught me to be more mindful of the things that I'm complaining about. It definitely has taught me to be appreciative of everything, even the smallest thing in my life. You know, be grateful for the roof over my head, be grateful for my children, be grateful for myself, be grateful for my husband, be grateful for having a warm bed to sleep in at night, for always having food on the table every day and night. Those things matter the most beyond any little thing that I could have complained about. Sometimes I find myself skipping over this part of life, showing gratitude. And I think a lot of us do this too. We just get so caught up in a moment and get so caught up in always wanting that we don't really truly sit down and think about everything that we already have and showing gratitude for everything we already have. But I say all that to say, when I say be humble, all I mean is to just really truly be grateful and appreciative of everything, small or big, that you have in your life. But the next lesson that 2021 has taught me is to trust God, not man. And when I say that, I don't mean to not put your trust into others, like, at all. But what I mean is stop expecting so much from others. You know, and this is a hard lesson that I had to learn over and over and over, year after year. And 2021 was one of those years where it just kind of hit me all at once. I was expecting so much out of people that when they didn't do what I expected them to do, I was hurt, and I was like hurt deeply. And it took me a very long time to come out of that hurt, because I just didn't understand why I would go all out and do this for this person, but they couldn't do the same. And I had to realize is, one, I'm not supposed to be putting my trust into others. I'm not supposed to be leaning on others to do this or do that for me, unless it's like a favor, like, hey, can you get me something at the store? Like, I don't mean things like that, but I mean like just like really deep, like I expected them to be all that I wanted them to be, not realizing that I cannot change somebody into someone that I want them to be. Once I started like really tapping into my spirituality and like really praying and just asking God for such and such, I started to see where I went wrong. And where I went wrong is my expectations of what I expected from someone was far beyond what they expected themselves to do for me. But all in all, your girl is getting her life together, still a work in progress. The next lesson that 2021 has taught me is to take care of you. Now, since I became a mother, I've always since I became a mom, I pretty much neglected myself. And this has been going on for years. And I would just always make myself my least priority. And when 2021 rolled around, even before 2021, I was kind of like on like a self-care, not a self-care, but like on a self-help journey, just trying to get myself together mentally, physically, emotionally. And for a very long time, I would just always make myself a least priority, and I couldn't understand why. And you know, when 2021 came around, it just got to a point where I was just so overwhelmed. Like, I was so overwhelmed looking raggedy. I was so overwhelmed feeling like I'm not fulfilled in all areas of my life. I was so overwhelmed with feeling like I'm just never gonna be at peace or be happy. When I got to that point, I really had to sit down and think about what it was that was causing me not to feel that way. And when the answer that I came up with was that I was not taking care of myself. And I feel like when you become a mother, motherhood just consumes you so much that you completely lose your identity. And that was one of the reasons why I kind of stopped taking care of myself, because I feel like I had lost all my sense of self by becoming a mother. And you know, once I came to that realization that motherhood had just become too much for me, I really started to just go on like a self-help journey. I really started to do to wake up early, you know, journal. I started to pray again. I started to just put on decent clothes, make sure I took a shower, because before becoming a mom, I was a woman first. And I'm always going to be a woman even after my kids grow up and, you know, leave our home. One was definitely a turnaround, my biggest blessing, because it definitely helped me realize how much beauty I had left inside of me. You know, I was not who I kept telling myself I was. I feel like the more I kept saying, oh, I look raggedy, oh, I look this, I look that, the more I kept the more negativity I kept telling my you know, putting in my head, the more it came back to me tenfold. To kind of combat that, I really had to start speaking positivity over myself. You know, I'm beautiful, I'm brave, I'm courageous, I'm compassionate. But 2021 was definitely the year for me to self-reflect and really get back to taking care of myself, physically, emotionally, mentally. I definitely have come far along the way than where I was a year ago. And I'm gonna keep saying that because, like I said, I was definitely just in a really bad place for so many years, and to finally be getting out of that negative headspace and dark headspace, it just feels really good. And 2021 was definitely my year where it taught me to just take care of myself. And I want you all to take care of yourself as well, because at the end of the day, you cannot pour from an empty cup. We have to put ourselves first sometimes, because we don't want to wake up one day and just be done with life, or just feel like, you know, everyone around us is using us. You never want to feel that way. So definitely make sure that in 2022 you take care of you. And now the last lesson that 2021 has taught me is to invest your money. Now, me and my husband, we've kind of always had this idea of investing our money since we found out about stock, Bitcoin, and all of those different ways to generate income. We've always had it in the back of our mind that we were going to invest our money when we got to a certain financial threshold. And 2021 was definitely one of those years where it really kind of humbled us and set us down and taught us to really step out on faith and put our money into somewhere where it's gonna grow. Once 2020 rolled around and we bought our home, we was like, okay, we got our home, so that's taken care of. Now it's time for us to start working on our finances. Now it's time for us to start really tapping into these stocks that we've been wanting to invest in and other things and get it together. Because at the end of the day, we're getting older, our kids are getting older, and we got things to do. This one was definitely the year where we really started to step out on faith and invest our money for the long run, because putting it in a savings was not doing anything. Literally, we can just transfer the money in our savings to our checkings account right now, and what would that be doing for us? Nothing. And if you haven't already, I definitely encourage you to start investing your money or just building different streams of income for yourself, because depending on one income is not going to suffice. But for the most part, just do your research. Don't just listen to me. Do your research and see what's out there that will work for you, because trust me, there are so many options available where you can invest your money and make so much money doing that versus just keeping it in a savings account. But all in all, that is the 5 lessons that 2021 has taught me, and honestly, I'm excited for this new year. I feel like 2021 is just going to be a great year. I'm already putting it out there in the universe, like 2022 is going to be a great year for all of us. I do have 5 more lessons, as I mentioned earlier in the video. If you want to know what those 5 lessons are, then definitely go ahead and head to my blog, which will be in the link will be in the description box. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, I will see you all in my next video.